In this clip, we're going to be looking at dividing integers. That just means dividing whole numbers. Now, all your life, you've probably been told how difficult this is, and you've also probably been shown lots of different methods that don't really help. What I'm going to do in this clip is show you how straightforward it really can be if you use the right method. I want to divide 994 by 7. Before I do this, the first thing I actually need is the 7 times table. Here's my 7 times table. I set the question out by writing down the 994, drawing a bus shelter over it, and then putting the number I'm dividing by, in this case 7, on the outside. Now I say, does 7 go into 9? Yes, it does. It goes in once, with a remainder of 2. Does 7 go into 29? Looking here, I can see that 4 7s are 28, so it goes in 4 times with a remainder of 1. Does 7 go into 14? Yes, it does. It goes exactly twice. So the answer to this question is 142. Let's look at another example. For this one, because I'm dividing by 8, I'm going to need the 8 times table. Now, obviously, this doesn't magically appear when you're doing an exam, so you might need to write it out yourself. So it starts with 8, then 16, 24, 72, and the next one would be 80. I'm not going to need that for a division. Now I set this out. So I write 4216 inside my bus shelter, with the 8 on the outside. I start by saying, does 8 go into 4? No, it doesn't, because the first number is 8 and 4 is lower than that. So what I do is I bring that 4 onto the 2 to make 42. Does 8 go into 42? Yes, it does. It goes in 5 times, but there's going to be a remainder of 2. So I put my 5 with a remainder of 2. Does 8 go into 21? Yes, it does. Twice will make 16. And then from 16 to 21 it's 5, so I've got a remainder of 5. Now does 8 go into 56? Yes, it does. It goes in exactly 7 times. So the answer for this question is 527. Just out of interest, when I started this question and said, does 8 go into 4, and found that it didn't, you can put a 0 up here before you move the 4 along. This will help you remember that 8 doesn't go into 4. However, when you write your final answer, don't put the 0. Here are some for you to try. Press pause and have a go. When you're ready for the answers, press play. Here are the answers. Now I'm going to look at dividing something by a 2-digit number. So for this one, I want the 17 times table. Once I've got that, I set my question out. So I've got 272 in the bus shelter, and I'm dividing that by 17. I start by saying, does 17 go into 2? It definitely doesn't because 2 is far too small, so I put the 2 here. Does 17 go into 27? Yes, it does, but only once. That makes 17, so there's a remainder of 10 to get up to the 27. Now, does 17 go into 102? Yes, it does. You can see that it goes in exactly 6 times. So the answer for this question is 16. So for this example, I'm going to need the 32 times table. Remember, it's not going to magically appear on the exam, so you need to be able to write it out yourself. So it starts with 32. We double this to get the next number, that's 64. To get the next number, I add these two together. So 2 and 4 is 6, 3 and 6 is 9. Now to get the next one, I can double this one, and that gives me 128. To get the next one, I add 32 onto this one. So 2 and 8 is 10, 3 and 2 and the 1 from the 10 is 6, and 1 on its own is 1. Now I can just keep adding 32. So this is my 32 times table. I set the question out in my usual way. And I say, does 32 go into 1? Obviously not, because 1 is far too small, so I put the 1 here. Does 32 go into 17? No, because 17 is far too small, so I put the 17 here. Does 32 go into 179? Yes, it does. It goes in 5 times. That makes 160, so there's a remainder of 19. Does 32 go into 192? Yes, it does. It goes in exactly 6 times. So the answer is 56. So, as you can see, when we're dividing by a 2-digit number, the method is actually the same, and it doesn't make it any more difficult really. The hard bit and the absolute key to it is being able to generate the times table for the number that you're dividing by. Here are some questions for you to try now. Press pause and have a go. When you're ready for the answers, press play. Here are the answers. Let's have a look at this question now. It looks more straightforward than the ones we've just been doing, but there's a complication with it which you'll see as I do it. I need the 8 times table for it. Now I set my question up with my 28 inside my bus shelter and the 8 on the outside. And I say, does 8 go into 2? It doesn't because 2 is far too small, so I put the 2 here. Now does 8 go into 28? Yes, it does. It goes in 3 times, so I put that 3 here. Now, I made 24, but I wanted 28, so I've got a remainder of 4. When you were younger, you might have written this with a little r and just put R4 to finish off the question. But what we can do now is take it one stage further. So I'm going to extend my division, and on the end of this number, I'm going to write 0.0. I haven't changed the number at all because 28.0 is the same as 28. Now remember, we had a remainder of 4. I can put that here. I put the point on the top as well, and then carry on. Does 8 go into 40? Yes, it does. It goes exactly 5 times. So I can put my 5 here, and you can see that we've got the answer 3.5. So we've done a really difficult division with a remainder, but we've made it look the same as the ones we've been doing so that we can get a decimal answer. Let's have a look at another example. I want the 15 times table this time. Then I set it out with the 108 inside the bus shelter and the 15 on the outside. Now, does 15 go into 1? No, because 1's too small. Does 15 go into 10? No, because 10's too small. Does 15 go into 108? Well, it goes into 105 and it goes in 7 times, so I put the 7 up here. Now I've got a remainder of 3 to get from 105 to 108. Remember, we extend the division, put 0.0 and put our remainder here. Put the point up here and carry on. Does 15 go into 30? Yes, it does, exactly twice. So the answer to this one is 7.2. Here are some for you to try. Press pause and have a go at them. When you're ready for the answers, press play. Here are the answers. Here's another slightly more difficult question. To do it, I'm going to need the 8 times table. We set it out as normal, 74, divided by 8. And we say, does 8 go into 7? No, it doesn't. So we put the 7 here. Does 8 go into 74? Well, it goes into 72 9 times, and there's a remainder of 2. Remember, we extend this, put a point, put a 0, put our remainder here. Put the point up here too. Now, does 8 go into 20? Yes, it does. It goes twice. That makes 16, so there's a remainder of 4. Now we can put another 0. Put the 4 on it, and then say, does 8 go into 40? Yes, it does. It goes in exactly 5 times. So the answer to this is 9.25. It's important to realise that once you've got to the decimal point, every time you get a remainder, you can put a 0 and put the remainder on, and this can go on for as long as you need it to. Here are some questions for you to try. Press pause and have a go at them. When you're ready for the answers, press play. Here are the answers.